Hello, this is Virginia with Urbana Inez Designs. Did your mother ever tell you don't play with your food? Well, I say, come on in. Let's get started. Today, we're going to make a luscious cocoa bomb. With this cold winter weather, it is so nice to have a hot cup of cocoa. And what fun it is when you can place this in your cup and watch it explode. That will be another tutorial. But in the meantime, we have to make these beautiful bombs. So let's get started, okay? What you're going to need are chocolate wafers. I'm near the end of my bag. Chocolate wafers, they come in different shapes, but pretty much all are the same. They aren't melting wafers, are the easiest. If you get other brands, like compound chocolate, you will have to go into tempering. So if you are not familiar with how to temper chocolate, start with the chocolate wafers. You can also use chocolate bark, which is not the traditional chocolate. Instead of having milk, it has a water base. So be careful which one you choose. You will know the difference because the label will tell you. All right. We're going to melt in our microwave some of the chocolate wafers, and we don't want to overheat our chocolate because that will cause a lot of different issues. The most common will be that your chocolate will bloom, which means that the oils will rise to the top. All right, and you want it to get to the consistency where it's going to be a little runny. All right, sometimes because of different things, the process that the maker of the chocolate wafers has done, you may need to add another ingredient to help it to melt smoother. I recommend, not necessarily this brand, but I recommend coconut oil to add. Some people will use olive oil, which to me it changes the taste, and some people will use vegetable oil. All of them are fine. It's all up to your discretion and your taste. All right. So, first thing that we're going to do, you can see that I use a measuring spoon. This is my tablespoon size, and these are the molds. You want a silicone mold. They have a lot of different sizes. They have a lot of different types, but you do want a silicone mold. It comes in one big piece, and you will need to cut it so that you can have individual shells. All right, and then what you are going to do is take your spoon into your hot chocolate or melted chocolate, and you are going to, I should put the camera down, shouldn't I, so you can see me actually do this. All right, so as you can see now, I'm into the chocolate, and you are going to place a nice amount. I put 2 just to make sure that it's all coated, and I squeeze and pull up until it gets up to the side. Even if it goes over the edge a little bit, that actually is better. All right, once I've got all my chocolate in there, then I take it back to the cup and spill it over and shake it or tap it a bit until you no longer see chocolate dripping, or there's a very slow drip. Take your spatula or offset spatula, wipe off those edges, put it into a muffin or cupcake tin or muffin tin. Now you can see I already had one done. All right, this is not going to be ready yet. What you're going to do is, even this one has the first layer. Every shell needs 2 layers for the strength. There are some people who would like to use just 1 layer. I prefer 2 so that when you go to assemble it, you have enough. Now you only need like half the spoon on that one. All right, on half, you won't need to run it over. And then, so what I do is I push it up to the side, and then to make sure that you get the hollowness, I turn around and I swirl this. Take out any excess and watch to see that it is coating evenly. You don't want it very thick. You just want a nice thin layer over as the second layer to make sure that you are getting enough to give it the strength that is needed. Now we're going to pop these in the freezer for a minute. So hold on while I am popping this in my freezer. I apologize that I did not have them done. All right, now this one was in the freezer. To pull or to remove it from your silicone mold, you need to release on both sides, both corners, and then push from the bottom, push the bottom up and pull, and your shell will release, will come up. Do not worry about what this edge looks like. It will be very raw. It will be, what would you call it? It will not be a smooth finish edge at the moment, but I'm going to show you how to take care of that. Okay, I'm just waiting for the other one to, I'm waiting for that other one to chill, and in the meantime it's going to set up the chocolate and it's going to harden it. And then what you're going to want to do is assemble your 2 pieces. So I'm going to go into my baking cupboard and I'm going to pull out my chocolate mix and my marshmallows, because what is a cup of hot cocoa if you don't have marshmallows? Now you can also use the freeze-dried marshmallows. They're a lot of fun. You can get the ones that are in shapes and colors. You can get, especially like right now they have hearts out. You can even make your own. You can make marshmallow toppers. Those are really fun. And guess what? I'll have another tutorial on that as well. So I like to put in as many marshmallows as will fit. So I will show you how all that is done, okay? And I am going to keep these. We make dozens of hot cocoa bombs with the holidays and the cold weather. Yum. Tea bombs. Oh, yum. So let me check on those shells. Make sure that they are ready for us. All right. Now you also are going to need parchment paper to put your shells together. So get a sheet of parchment paper. You're going to need your stove or a griddle or something warm. You do not want it hot. You want it just barely warm so that it melts the chocolate. All right, let me show you. These should be ready. These should be ready already. And it looks like it is. Okay, it already, because you know the magic of a freezer. All right, it is pretty set up already. See, you can see that it's nice and hard. So I'm going to give this one its second coat. While this chocolate, remember that you never want to add really hot chocolate, especially to cold, icy cold chocolate, because it will cause it to crack. And not only that, it could cause it to seize up. which is, you know, like nasty. It'll look like crumbles instead. So then I will make sure this is nice and smooth. It doesn't matter if your inside is not nice and smooth because you're going to fill it up anyway. All right, now let's see if we can take this one out. As I told you, you want to see, you can see it's nice and tight. So you want to pull on this corner. Nope, it's not, it was not ready. It did not pull away. So I need to pop these back in the freezer. The temperature of your freezer will determine how long it takes for them to set up. All right. In the meantime, you can be getting the rest of your things ready in order for you to have this beautiful decorated look. This is just a basic drip or drizzle. And what I did was I put some white chocolate in the, need to seal this up somewhere here. Here we go. In the event. Okay, if you can see real clear, it's not quite matching right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to, with your offset spatula, you're going to take the smallest amount of chocolate and run it across that seam. And when you go to smooth it out, now this one is a little bit older, so you do see the difference in the chocolate. But you can also cover up with your drizzle. I've had this one sitting around for a while, which is a good example. That way you know, and you're going, oh, okay, how do I fix all these little issues? That's how it's done. Okay, so we're gonna wait. So in the meantime, as I said, this is a pastry bag. It was filled with white chocolate in it, and I'm going to use it. The tip has been cut. I'll stick this in the microwave for 30 seconds and it will melt my chocolate down perfectly. Then you can have all kinds of sprinkles. Here are pink ones. Here are heart ones. You can put chocolate pieces on it. I do have some M&Ms that I could put, but for the sake of time and for me not to leave the camera so often, I am not going to do, I'm not going to go after those M&Ms right now, okay? But let me pop this in the microwave because it's so close by, and you can see, and it's just, like I said, 30 seconds in your microwave for a pastry bag. Whenever you're melting chocolate, just do 30 seconds at a time. You will see a big difference, because if it gets too hot, like I said, it will seize up your chocolate, and that's not what you want. You want your chocolate to just be right, and you don't want, have you ever seen, trying to think of, they do like candies and it has like, kind of like a Rice Krispie treat cereal, Rice Krispie cereal in it, and it's a little bit crunchy. Well, when chocolate seizes up, it looks like that. Okay, so it'll have like some little crunchiness of the sugars that that did not come together well. All right, so here we go. You can see how soft that is, and then you'll want to squeeze out to make sure. I've got a little something in here, and you just want to squeeze that bag. I'm going to turn the camera down in a second so you can see all this. I always keep a towel handy for my fingers. Let's look down. it's not coming out, that's because there is some blockage right there. And so, oh, there we go. Got it, got it. I don't know what you're... Oh, I turned the camera around. I so apologize. Da 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 da. Da 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 dee. Here I am. Okay, so here we go. You'll see. There you go. It's, you can see where it comes out just perfect. I keep these flower formers. You can use whatever you have in your home, but it actually helps to hold your chocolate shell as you're working with it. And it's made out of plastic so they can be washed. It's food grade plastic, so you don't have to worry about contamination. All right, this should really be set up there, nice and cold. Here are my shells. Now let's see about pulling this away. As I told you, there you go, see? You can see how it pulls away, and you just want to keep doing that until you get it from the edge. Once the edge has lifted, you turn around and you push on the bottom. Push on the bottom, pulling it down. And yes, you might see, ooh, that one didn't work. It had cracked before, remember? Good thing we make extras. All right, so let's try this one. Push on the bottom. It had cracked that first time. All right, here we go. Pushing on, pulling this down. Pulling this down. Perfect. Look at that. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Now you really should allow them to come to room temperature, because you don't want the oils on your hands to smear that beautiful shine. You can purchase cotton gloves, and when you use the cotton gloves, you put the cotton gloves on first and then a plastic glove over. All right, so, but in the interest of time and what have you, we're going to go ahead. Right here was shell number 1, and you can see a bit of the dullness has left by comparison, and that's because of time that it has been sitting out. It's not going to change anything. It will not change the taste. It will not change the beauty. It just happens when you leave things sitting out. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to my stove. I have a pan, and it has the parchment paper in it. I'm going to put it face down and turn it ever so slightly, just a few turns, a few seconds. It is warm, so you can see, I don't know if you can see the shininess, which means that it has melted. But that's what you just want, just the edge to melt. Let me turn the camera back down on my board. Okay, and then we are going to fill you can determine how much chocolate you want, how much chocolate mixture you want. And then I pressed it down to create like a little cavity. There, you don't have to do that. I like to pile on my marshmallows. Remember that all of this is going to be in your cup. Now, some people like to add some sprinkles, and that's perfectly okay. Just make sure that whatever sprinkles you do will melt in your chocolate. All right? And remember that everything that you're putting in will be what you drink. So remember the amount of sweetness as well. Now, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to do the same thing to it. You want it to melt just a little bit. And then you are going to bring, now I normally don't pick them both up the same time to do it, but so that you can see how it's done and match the two edges together. So, can you see? There you go. This is perfect. Look at that. All right. Then, so now you have a bomb ready to decorate. And remember that we had warmed up our chocolate. Okay, let me see. These are the sprinkles that I want to put on here. All right, so I am going to then take my white chocolate and to drizzle. You don't start directly on the chocolate. You start off to one side on a cookie sheet with parchment paper. You push it down and quickly so that your lines, you can do different colors. All right, wait a few seconds before you do. See how beautiful that is with the white lines? See, look at how beautiful that is. All right, wait a few seconds so that the chocolate starts to set up, but not too long. And then take your sprinkles and sprinkle up. And the reason I said to wait a few seconds is because some sprinkles might be on the heavier side. And you want them to hold. Okay, so I have lips here, some red and some pink ones. So I am adding them individually on. All right, and you can, like I said, you can do some marshmallows. The sky is the limit in what you do, what you put on. It's up to you. Whatever flavors you can create, even flavors. All right, so I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that you will come back and watch me again for the next tutorial.